Welcome back, it's me Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are looking at this. It is the new Marvel Legends Thena from the upcoming Eternals movie. So I picked this figure up at Target, and I believe this figure specifically, the Thena figure, might be a Target exclusive. I'm not 100% sure on that. She doesn't belong to the regular wave. And you kind of notice that because as soon as you look at the back of the box, it's just her. You don't have the listing of the other characters. So just like the Marvel Legends Katie figure from the Shang-Chi film, I think this might be a Target exclusive. If I'm wrong, or if you can't confirm that, just write it down in the comments below. So I bought this at Target a few days ago, and I believe I paid maybe $22.99 for it. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I just remember seeing it on the shelves and noticing the price hike. I've talked about this before. I think some of the Marvel Legends figures have jumped up in price the past few months. They used to be like, what, $19.99, and now they're like 22 bucks. It's okay, I guess. I mean, I'd rather pay 19 bucks for a figure, but, if this is the trend, this is the trend. So here we have the Angelina Jolie figure. It looks cool. To be honest, I don't know too much about the Eternals. I did read a couple of the comic books back in the day, and I don't remember much other than the one book I read was illustrated by artist John Romita Jr. I'm not sure how close to the source material the new movie is gonna follow the original comics. It's kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy film. If you read Guardians of the Galaxy, the team lineup, it's varied over the years, and the lineup they had in the film was very different than I believe like the original lineup. Much like the original X-Men movie by Fox. That team lineup is really different than the original lineup that featured the original X-Men back in the day. They kind of just like handpicked the key characters. And with Eternals, like I said, I'm not too familiar with it. I read a couple of comic books, like it seems like a lifetime ago, and I guess it didn't really leave quite the impression on me because I don't really remember much of it. I just kind of remember the artwork. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm kind of going into this blind. I'm going to try to, kind of keep a positive outlook on this and judge the figure on the basis of the figure. Not so much on, the movie because I haven't seen it yet, so I don't really have an opinion there. The box is nice. I'm starting to feel like the Marvel Legends stuff, in terms of the package designs, it's starting to feel a little bit dated. Even though they have these really cool illustrations on the side, I think the packaging is kind of like long overdue for a makeover. I like what they're doing with like the Avengers Infinity Saga packaging, but I don't know, the package on the Marvel Legends, I think it's really overdue for like a overhaul. But it's like I said, the artwork on the side's beautiful. The back is nice. The bio is kind of brief. It lists Thena here as a fierce warrior. Thena has the ability to use cosmic energy to form any handheld weapon she can think of. Okay. Alright, let's get started and review this action figure. Okay, apparently I don't remember how to open up a Marvel Legends box. It's been a while. How do I open this? Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, so first impressions of the action figure while she's still in the tray. It looks really cool. Alright, one of the things that kind of got me excited about these Eternal figures, even though I didn't see the movie, what I do appreciate is that, these feel like, I think they're essentially 100% new sculpts. There's no reuse, I believe. These are completely new. And for me, that's pretty exciting. A lot of the Marvel Legends stuff, especially the comic book based stuff, we get a lot of reuse with the bodies and the accessories. But the one thing I do like about like stuff that's based off of the MCU stuff is that, you know, a lot of the times we'll get these brand new sculpts because they have to, you know, mimic the costumes and uniforms we see on the big screen. So it's kind of cool to get something that feels like 100% new. And, you know, right now, just looking at the figure, the detailing, the sculpting, it looks all top notch. You know, even though I'm paying a little bit more for this figure than I, you know, maybe a few years ago, like, you know, 22 bucks. I think it's worth it, especially this one. You get a lot of accessories here. You know, she has a handful of weapons, an extra pair of hands, and it feels and looks very premium. I do like how the figure is framed in the package. It's awesome how you can see all the different accessories you're getting. You know, there's some figures you buy and, you know, you spend the same amount of money, but all you really get is the figure and maybe like a pair of hands if you're lucky. You know, sometimes you don't even get anything. So yeah, here we have the character Thena, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, from the new Eternals movie, as played by actress Angelina Jolie. The figure, it's kind of like, so parts of her are kind of gold, like metallic gold. Other parts of her are kind of more like pearlescent gold. The sculpting is beautiful. If we get this in focus. Focus, come on. Alright, I always have a hard time with some of these action figures that are like lighter in color. My camera has a hard time trying to pick out the details, and getting it to focus becomes a challenge. Alright, I guess we'll leave it at this distance. So yeah, the sculpting is really well done. The likeness, yeah, it looks like Angelina Jolie. I'm so used to seeing her like is dark haired, so seeing her blonde is kind of very different for me. But all the likeness seems there. You know, the cheekbones, the lips, the hair is really well sculpted. So let's start from the top. So at the top, she kind of has this tiara on the top of her head, and then her hair flows down. It comes about like 1/3 down past her shoulders. The top of her body is kind of covered in this armored plating. She has shoulder pads, which look to be it's kind of a stiff plastic. It's not like a hard brittle plastic. It feels a little rubbery, but it's kind of stiffer than I'd expect. So it looks like it's going to hinder the movement in terms of her rotating up. Now I take it back. She could rotate up, but her arms are going to kind of splay out, like almost like a Y, like she's doing, you know, YMCA. Her arms can move out. Yeah, but in terms of rotating them up, you're going to run into this shoulder pad deal. So her arms won't be able to like fully extend and, you know, go up like this. It's always going to be out like this. She doesn't have a waist swivel, but she does have a swivel below the breast line. So she could swivel up here. She could arch back about this much. She could arch forward about like that. Her head's on a ball joint, but because of her hair, it's going to limit the range of motion. So she could look left and right, but you'd have to move the hair just to get it to move that way or move this way. Her belt and it's kind of like skirt kind of deal. It kind of keeps on riding up. It doesn't want to stay stationary. Even though it looks like there's a socket for it, and there is a, right, that's odd, okay. All right, so yeah, there is a peg for it. So underneath the belt, right here, you'll notice there's a tab right there. So there's a tab right here, it's kind of faint, and then there's a socket, and this is supposed to plug in, but it doesn't want to stay in place. And likewise on the back, right above her butt. There's another socket, and then there's a tab right there. And the tab isn't long enough, so it will plug in, but it's not going to hold it in place. So it's going to want to. No, I take it back. It takes, all right. So you have to line it up correctly, then apply some pressure to it, and it will tab into place, and then it pops out again. All right, maybe I'm doing it wrong. All right, yeah. So I don't know. This might be me, but it doesn't want to stay tabbed in. All right, there you go. Okay, so you just kind of have to like fiddle with it, and you know, once you get both the front and the back tabbed in, it'll hold into place. If it's kind of a nuisance, you can always just like, you know, maybe add a drop of super glue or something, and just, you know, that'll keep it permanent. She could kick up, she could kick out. She can't kick out that far. I'm surprised. All right, yeah. So her hips here, it kind of comes down a little bit too low. So if you try to kick out, it's not going to want to go out that far, which is unfortunate. She does have a thigh cut, double jointed knees, as you can see here, but the pins are hidden. So you have the first. All right, it's kind of being stubborn. Yeah, so you have the first bend right here at the knee, and then it can bend a second time above the shin. She's wearing these really long boots, and it's kind of cool. They kind of cover over her knees. But I think when you pull it down like this, it doesn't look as natural as it should. So maybe you'd want to break it down and bend it right here. She has ankle articulation. It's what you expect from the Marvel Legends stuff. Nothing new. Overall, it's a nice figure. It's cool. It's hard for me to get excited about it just because I haven't seen the film yet. You know, I think there's, you know, once you see the character in action, or you have some sort of idea of what the character's about, I think then it's easier to get more excited about the figure. For example, like way back when the first Blade movie came out, we went to like a late screening of the film, and then as soon as the movie let out, everyone I was with, they were like super excited over the movie. And this is like, it's already like well past 12 o'clock. It's well past midnight, but we knew that there was a 24-hour Walmart near us. So then everyone was all stoked on Blade, and we went out and got the old Toy Biz action figures. Just because, you know, we saw the movie and we were so stoked on it that we had to have the toys. You know, it's like the case with this. I haven't seen the movie yet, so it's kind of hard for me to get excited about, you know, these characters in general. You know, but as an action figure, it's cool. I mean, it's easy to get excited over a new action figure because it's something to fiddle around with, something that's very fresh and new. And, you know, that's the case here. You know, she comes with all these cool accessories, different swords, a knife, some kind of sickle. You know, she has different hands. So these are the weapon holding hands. Let's see if we can get one out. Swap it out. Yeah, I apologize if I sound a little lukewarm towards this figure because it's like I said, I don't know a thing about this character. In terms of the merit, I mean, just judging it on its merits alone as an action figure, I think it's well done. It's what we've expected from Marvel Legends after all these years. You know, the quality is excellent. The sculpting is beautiful. The paint application is nice and clean. The articulation is there. Yeah, it's a cool toy. It's just that I don't, you know, I can't frame this in the proper context yet in my head just because I haven't seen the film yet. And for all I know, maybe this costume isn't accurate either. I mean, we've seen that before. You know, sometimes the action figures are released well ahead of the movies, and then what we get doesn't necessarily mirror what we see on the big screen because maybe the figure is based off like concept art. But for now, I think this is a decent figure. You know, I can't really fault it on anything really, other than the fact that her arms can't, you know, rotate upward properly, without splaying outward. So if I had to rate this figure numerically, probably 7.5 to an 8. And an 8 seems kind of high, but at the same time, it's like I can't find anything, you know, too wrong with this figure. It looks like Angelina Jolie. I'm stoked that you get a lot of accessories with it. It's kind of bothersome that her skirt and belt kind of like keep on riding up, but you know that can easily be alleviated by just like a dab of glue. Yeah, it's a cool figure. The base body, I think, if you're a customizer, the base body is awesome. You can easily, I can see customizers using this base body for other things, just because it's not that it's generic, but it's a very armored looking look. You know, if you took this in hand and repainted it, you know, if you're a customizer, I don't know, maybe you can make like Princess Zelda or something out of this. It's pretty neat. Okay, so let's wrap this video up. Is this worth it? If you're a fan of Angelina Jolie, definitely, I think it's worth the purchase. And I kind of want to say that with the new movie, it's like with the Eternals, it seems like if you have one figure, it seems like you need the entire set. And I think that's the one thing that's kind of turning me off. It's like, judging from the trailers, you know, the team looks pretty big, and I don't know if I want to commit to that many characters. So far, I've bought Angelina Jolie, and then I bought the what was the other character? The Icarus character, and I'll review that in a future video. And I think you have to buy all the other. So she does not include a Build-A-Figure part, and I think Icarus doesn't include a Build-A-Figure part also. But the other team members, I want to say you might have to collect 6 figures to build Gilgamesh, I think. I don't know. Oh, real quick before I forget, where is she? All right, since we're on the subject of Angelina Jolie, I dug out another Angelina Jolie figure. I don't know if she has too many action figures to begin with, but here's one of them. This is the old Tomb Raider figure from, I think, the first film. And it's kind of feeling a little bit dated by now. But this figure is, for as old as it is, they had a lot of cool things going for it. You know, like you could remove the arms, and then you could take off her jacket. Now, I lost her. She had 2 different pairs of arms. She had these normal bare arms, and then she had arms that were like, you know, with the jacket sleeves. And I don't know what happened to them. All I remember is that I kind of dug this look. Instead of giving her a full jacket, I decided, you know, just to give it more of like a vest-like appearance because I thought it looked cooler. But, you know, in the movie and in the video game, as you remember, you know, Lara Croft, she's always kind of seen like this. So yeah, it's kind of cool. This figure is pretty old, but you know, the engineering on it, it's, even though it's dated, it was doing all the right things for as ancient as this figure is. You know, like you can remove the arms and swap them out with different arms. That's a feature that we see nowadays with like the Mattel WWE Elite figures. She had a bicep swivel. She had double jointed elbows. She had double jointed knees. She had ankle articulation. So yeah, this figure, it was really ahead of its time. And this came out a long time ago. I can't find a... Oh, here it is. Here's a copyright stamp. But there is no date. Yeah, so I don't know how old this figure is, but yeah, this figure is old. Like, you know, there's been 2 Tomb Raider movies with her, and those came out such a long time ago. But yeah, this figure's a great figure. The likeness is alright. I think for back then, it looked like Angelina Jolie. I mean, it still kind of does. But her forehead is this gigantic. Her head, like, this kind of slopes upward. But it's a nice sculpt. I enjoy it a lot. This is a really cool figure. So yeah, if you're a fan of Angelina Jolie, I'm not sure if there's too many action figures of hers to be found. So I think this is worth the purchase, you know, for talking about that. Alright, so... wrapping this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Like I said, I kind of apologize if I didn't seem too enthusiastic about this character or this toy review. You know, I'm just unfamiliar with the movie right now. I'm sure if I review this action figure after seeing the movie, I might have a different impression of the character and of the figure itself. But for right now, I'm just kind of just judging the figure on the merit of it just being an action figure, without really having any context of the film or the story, or the, you know, if this character has any sort of like development or character arc or whatever. But yeah, it's worth a purchase, you know, if you're a fan of Angelina Jolie, and if you're looking to buy, you know, the Eternals, you know, you're going to need the whole team lineup. So she's kind of a must purchase. Alright, so once again, my name is Lou. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thanks for all your likes, comments, and support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, take care, be safe, buy lots of toys, and just enjoy your life. Alright, until the next time.